Good morning. Today, city staff are sharing their plan to support those experiencing homelessness in our next winter season. This was a challenging winter, and we've seen extreme weather events come more frequently for several years in a row. And city staff have been hard at work preparing a response. This past winter season, they created more than 750 new spaces in our shelter system, and it was no small feat. Even with those efforts, demand for shelter space continues to outpace supply. Access to warming centers became a particular point of concern this past winter. Residents from across Toronto made it very clear that they want our city to do more to provide safe and warm spaces to those experiencing homelessness in our harshest season. City Council heard those concerns loud and clear. Not only did we provide a plan for addressing next year's winter, but we asked staff to look at our warming center model and see if they could provide a 24/7 mode of operation. A pilot was actually introduced to try and prove out the concept. And thanks to the efforts of Councillor Diane Sachs, we were also able to open an additional warming center at Cecil Community Centre this year. Under the new model that's being recommended in a report released today, warming centers will always be activated once temperatures reach 5 below. This is a vast improvement over the confusion that was created around our existing cold weather alert system. 15 below is the city's cold weather alert system. While staff had discretion to move beyond that, we're making it clear in this report that 5 below will be the trigger going forward. Staff in multiple city divisions are also working to secure new sites for the upcoming winter season. Our 24/7 warming pilot actually gave us the information we need. At Metro Hall, we learned exactly what resources would be needed so that staff would be able to offer 24/7. At Metro Hall, the majority of clients stayed up to 10 nights and were connected to shelters and to programs and services that they needed. However, the challenge in this model was the space. Metro Hall is simply not a shelter. There were clear limits to the facilities available, to the programming that staff could run, and the connections that they could forge with warming center clients. Staff will continue to work in the community with those organizations that we partner with, the faith leaders that we rely on to identify possible sites for next winter. Equipped with a full understanding of the exact resources they need to operate, we're hoping these partnerships will bear fruit. Recently, City Council received a survey from Shelter Support Housing Admin, because they can help too. Staff are looking for opportunities that councillors may be able to help them with to locate warming center sites around their wards. Our ultimate goal should be to have at least one warming center in each community council area in the following winters. The lessons learned from our 24/7 warming center pilot at Metro Hall underscore the biggest challenge with warming centers as a model at all. Right now, these centers are an overutilized cold weather stopgap. What we really need are more shelters and, even more importantly, more permanent supportive modes of housing. Sites like the modular housing proposed at 175 Cummer Avenue, and like the 4 already constructed, 3 of them already occupied and serving people who need that type of housing. Our housing crisis does continue to deepen. Our shelter system serves twice as many people as it did 6 years ago. And in the past 2 years alone, we've had to enhance our shelter capacity by almost 50%. Up to 9,000 people are being served nightly, when it was just 6,000 in the spring of 2021. The cost of living continues to go up as well. As we all know, income supports are largely stagnating at the same time. Without urgent and coordinated action from all 3 orders of government, we will see more people entering homelessness in the years ahead. Homelessness should be a rare and brief experience. We hear that from our staff all the time, but our city is working hard to make that a reality, and we're feeling as if we're all alone. We can't do it alone. Through this report, we are requesting $5 million from the provincial and federal governments would allow us to activate warming centers, more of them and some 24/7 in the coming winter season. Without this funding, we will not be able to fully implement the model proposed. We will also request that an additional $20 million be made available in the Canada-Ontario housing benefit. This would allow nearly 2,000 households to exit the shelter system and actually achieve permanent housing. This should be the goal of both Premier Ford and Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland. Both are representatives right here in Toronto, so they're witnessing the challenges we face firsthand. Warming centers are but one tool to provide low barrier access to shelter when it's most needed, but they are not a long-term solution. The City of Toronto continues to work to tailor our shelter system to actual needs and to increase our housing capacity. We're committed to increasing affordable and supportive housing opportunities and enhancing those partnerships with community organizations to deliver all of the most important supports across Toronto. We're also going to better leverage the models we currently have. Models such as our low barrier 24-hour respite centers, which are currently a referral but should soon return to a walk-in model. I want to thank the staff at Shelter Support and Housing Administration, also Toronto Public Health, and Corporate Real Estate Management for the work that they have put into this report so that we have a plan for next winter. It outlines exactly what Council is asking for to support those experiencing homelessness in our city winters, and it spells out the resources we would need to achieve it. Everyone deserves access to safe and reliable shelter. As Chair of Toronto's Economic Community Development Committee, we want to see this plan realized in full. We must secure more sites for warming centers and the funds to support them. We must enhance access to the shelter supports that we already have in place. And of course, we have to be relentless in Council in our push to build a wide variety, a wide range of supportive and accessible housing. I trust that our partners at the provincial and the federal government see the urgency of this work as well and will provide the support necessary for our city to achieve these goals. As Chair, we're going to bring this report to Council. I stand by the recommendations in it fully, and I want to make ourselves available for questions today so that people can have a full understanding of what's being proposed. And so I'd like to not only thank, but also make clear that I have with me today the staff support to do so. Gord Tanner is here from Shelter Support and Housing Administration, and Gord has had a very challenging winter serving the 9,000 people that he has been serving, and want to take this opportunity to give you a special thank you for that. Thank you so much. We're hoping to make things a little bit more serviceable next winter, and I know you're poised to do so. So thank you very much.